Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all well. After the heavy rain of last weekend, it stopped, and as the week went on, by Wednesday the river was fishable. However, Mother Nature was not happy with that and decided to throw up some high winds, which by Thursday turned into a yellow alert for high winds. And a yellow alert is a bit like DEFCON 1, with DEFCON 3 being the maximum. So Thursday was almost out of the question. Friday the wind dropped a little, a few showers of rain, and then today and tomorrow rain. So I don't know what's happening to the weather. We're going to tie this second nymph for coloured water, and in the vise I have a size 14 light nymph hook and a 3.3 silver bead, and I'm tying with black microfrost. So I'm just going to set the bead. Now I'm tying this in the morning, so I have to get down to the river a little later for the children and the juveniles, and let's hope that we don't get too wet. So I've set the bead, and I'm now going to put in the tail, and I'm going to use coq de lion. This is a medium pardo. The amount of fibres, up to you. Reasonable amount, something like that. 90 degrees, tear them off, and we'll tie them in. It's a little bit too long, so I'll pull that back. Something like that. And wind down hook shank. And trim up the excess. Right, now I am going to add a copper rib to this, and I'm going to use 0.18 copper wire. So I'm just going to pull a piece off, and we'll tie that in. And bind it down the length of the body to the bead and back down again. Okay, the body of this fly is just a natural pheasant tail, brown pheasant tail, and I'm going to pull off 3 or 4 fibres. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, in this particular instance. In fact, I think I've got 5 there. But I'll pull those off, and I'm just going to trim up the points, and we'll tie those in. Pull those the length and bind it down the length of the body to the bead. Now before I tie that on, I'm just going to put a few dabs of glue on the top there, just to help secure the pheasant tail. And I'm going to wind that on. Up the hook shank. It's the bead, and tie off the pheasant tail. And trim it up. Right, I'm now going to wind on the copper rib. Four or 5 turns. Still keeping this flashy. And tie off the copper rib at the bead. Hopefully that will break off. Right, now for the collar, I'm going to use some Spectra, and this is Spectra number 29. It's a sort of pheasant tail colour. It's a copper and gold and a little bit of green and brown, perfect for this particular fly. I'm just going to break it up just a little into smaller lengths, and I'm going to split the thread. Like so, and I'm going to put in the dubbing. Give it a twist. I'm going to pull some of that off because there's a little bit too much there. Wind on the collar. Pull the rest of that out. Before I tie this off, I'm going to just put a dab of glue onto the thread. And trim up the tying thread. And as before, I'm going to just brush this dubbing out. Just give it a little bit of leg. And I'm going to trim up some of these longer fibres so that the fish can see the pheasant tail, so that it isn't covered up. I think that's about right. Take out a little bit there. Fibre. And there we have the finished fry. Now don't forget to subscribe. There are over 300 tying videos, not one repeat pattern. And the top 5 videos garnered 45,000 views. So it's worth hitting that button and subscribing, becoming part of the channel. Thanks again for viewing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.